So today is the release 6 of 12 for 2026 personal challenges. Just a reminder, I'm doing 12 personal challenges every month to move the needle forward in my own personal life. Just creating things or doing things, whatever it might be. So this month I'm releasing one of my other AI agents. It's called Atlas. It is a personal assistant AI agent, an expert at anything and everything. And it's customizable to you, so it knows even your values if you want it to. It's private that way versus, say, ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok or even Claude, where you're uploading information. Then it's, number one, it's forgotten because most of them don't have memory, and two, you are uploading your personal information to the general data center, wherever it is, mirrored across all of them actually. In this case, we have the private server AI agent. You have a login, and you have the ability then we have the ability to put in their specialties, experts at certain topics or skill sets or subjects. If you want one on English literature or bowling or construction of a house or automotive mechanic or accounting or whatever it might be, we have them selectable so that you have the ability to talk directly to an expert in the field you're interested in. The general AI uses basically deduction to try and figure out from your question which expert it needs. It goes to the quickest information it can get because that's the cheapest way for it to withdraw data from the data center. So if you ask a question and you need it for specifically like Ohio and maybe the law or something in Ohio, it may find it in Michigan or Indiana or wherever else it might be, or Wisconsin, based on the quickest information it got. So you had to be really specific in order for it to deduct where it is that you wanted your information from. In this case, I have one that does that, and it will even give you a percentage of how high or the percentage of how close it thinks it got to actually the information you were looking for. Or you can choose the professional experts, and it's like having an expert in your pocket, on your phone, on your computer, and you want to talk about taxes today, and tomorrow you want to talk about cooking, whatever it might be. It's an expert in that, and it's private, and it's customizable to you, so it actually responds to you as if it is you. Now, there are still many of the things that are gatekept. In other words, many of the systems aren't the most conservative in nature, I guess is the best way of putting them. And so they block a lot of the questions that you may ask, that some that are nefarious and others that are just maybe value related. So it still has some of that because the overall AI models, the underlying AI models that are using that we are using are still restricted by that. But regardless, you have a personal AI assistant. It keeps all of your chat logs. You can go back and continue a chat log, and you continue it with the expert that you were talking in. If you wait here and follow this video, at the end of this video, I have a small demo on it so that you can see it actually in action. So again, this is called Atlas. It's a personal expert assistant in whatever topics you want it to be in. I'm not releasing it public where you just log or where you just do a subscription or whatnot. I'm doing these on a if you want it basis. Reach out to me at novotos.com, which is where all of my other stuff is at. And we'll talk about what works best for you. We'll customize it to you. You will have your own login, and then there would be a fee to run it every month. So if you are interested, reach out to me. Let me know in a DM or even on novotos.com. It is called Atlas, and it's a very special agent that is special to you and gives you the ability to really become exponentially smarter, or at least have exponentially more information than you had before. So check it out at novotos.com, and we thank you for watching. Forward forever.
So here inside Atlas, you've already logged in. Up at the top, you have a specialty, and these are the individual specialists that you can choose so that it gives you more accurate information. And or you can leave it on auto and let it choose. Up here at the Get to Know, you would put in your personal information, because the more personal information you add, the more the AI knows you and is able to respond according to what you want. You can also upload files, which would be any type of file that you would have that you might need to even give it more information. And then you begin to ask your questions. So down here at the Ask Your Question, I have it on auto. And we might want to ask something like, what is the pressures in a barometer? And when you do that, you are able to get a response. This is just kind of a generic question for our little demo here. But once you add that in there and you have it on auto, it's going to then try to determine what it is you're asking. It'll search here real quick, and then, hey, it may have some more questions. So here's a question that it has. Are you asking for pressure or barometric pressures? I just put one in there because I'm asking it to give it more general information. It gave me a 90% confidence rating that it knew what I was looking for. And so there you go. Then if we want to do one specific, like to accounting, we would then go up and choose accounting. And when you do this, it gives you specific information regarding or from like an expert in that field. You can choose the auto, but you may want to look into having it be an expert in the field. And so we're here just going to type a generic question that we want the AI to answer to us. And we want to specify a specialist in accounting. That way it knows what we are trying to accomplish and what specialty we're looking for. Now, why is this different than just ChatGPT or Gemini? Well, this is allowing us to have our own personal AI that knows us because, as I said, up at the Get to Know You, we were able to enter our information. And by doing so, it begins to learn more and more about you and add that information so that it's able to respond as if directly to you and not just some generic response that it forgets. General AI usage tools do not have memory, and this would allow you to actually respond or for it to respond to you as if it knows you. So I ask it a question here about an LLC and the tax purposes. It asks me which state, and another question. I simply just use the random state of Ohio. And then here, then it's going to search. Now, because this was a very specific question regarding from the accounting specialist, it may take it a little more time because it's doing some deep learning. And then it begins to give an answer just from, in general, from Ohio for an LLC and the tax ramifications and the ownership ramifications therein. So there is the Atlas personal AI. And I'm not releasing this to the public. This is for request only so that I can customize it more to you. But it's able to give you a tremendous amount of information as if it's your personal assistant and not just random Gemini or ChatGPT or Grok or whatnot.